Good morning, everyone. It is Monday. The temperature has dropped again below freezing. We now have snow flurries. Oh, yay! So, what a backpedaler this is on some of the stuff that I was trying to get done out there. So, I'm going to kind of work in here today. Um, I'm going to make some leftovers because I have a lot of leftovers today. Okay, so we're going to get right to this, but before I go into what I want to talk about this morning, I want to tell you that I do not know where the comments went to my previous video. They are all gone. They're not in the analytics, they're not showing up anywhere. So the only way that I knew that I had those comments was because of the notification. And so I answered all of them through notifications. And then this morning I come up and I'm looking at a few things, just kind of looking how the video went. And there's zero comments. And I know that's untrue. I know there was like 16 or 18 yesterday. So I don't know where they are. I don't know who hid them, deleted them. I have no clue. But they're not even showing up in analytics. So whatever is going on, I have no filters. I have none of those on my settings. I went through all my settings, none of that. No inappropriate words or anything like that. Because I do want comments. I do want to be able to respond to people, even though those people call me names. I just think that's absolutely absurd. Um, but I don't know where the comments went, so I just wanted to clear that up in the very beginning because that seems to be an issue with some. Um, and it did kind of concern me because I did answer everything that was given to me in the comments. So I don't know where they are. I don't know how that happens. I don't. What's weird is I went back to the one where I called Trump a liar and all of the comments are there. As far as I know, it shows in analytics because I just went down to see if maybe those comments were deleted as well, and they were not. So I don't know who is deleting, hiding, reporting, or whatever. It's not me. Period. Okay. Now let's get back to what I want to talk about. In my lifetime, I can say that I have seen things that I only read about in history books. And that's kind of scary to know that, yes, history does repeat itself. And I'm going to tell you that I honestly am terrified if Trump gets into office for several reasons. Some reasons for other people, and some reasons for myself. Okay, I'm 54 years old. I've lived some life, I've seen some stuff. And I say stuff, but that's not the word I really want to use. I have been called horrible names. I've been called a liar. I have been called many, many things in my life, and it rolls right off of me. I've got pretty thick skin. I'm not going to get all crazy and bent out of shape. I'm just not that kind of person. I would much rather think of something logically than just to either ignore what other people saw in it or know that I'm not the one that's going to be in a bad situation if that happens because of my loyalty to somebody. But there's one thing you need to understand. This is a very dangerous time. And, this was, I've never ever thought that I would see people storming the Capitol building. I never thought that. When I heard Trump speaking that day, I didn't actually think that people were going to take what he said, go down to the Capitol building and start beating on officers, eventually causing deaths, one actually being shot from coming through a window and told not to, a noose hanging outside of our Capitol building for Vice President Pence because he didn't want to break the Constitution. So let's talk about the Constitution, number one. The Constitution is about free speech. Trump said, we are going to stop the media who he's going to stop the media who doesn't agree with him. Now, if you don't see that as dictatorship or a king rule, then I don't know what is. But freedom of speech and freedom of the media is a First Amendment right. That is in the Constitution. So, number one, that's the first one he's going to dismantle. Number two, freedom freedom of religion, separation of church and state. That's not happening. Muslim bans. That's a big word. There's so many Muslims in the United States of America. You're going to ban them. Okay. Also, putting in legislation Christian values, morals into that system by people who obviously don't follow them because, I mean, my gosh, lead Republicans are going to jail for child molestation and pornography for 400 years. Come on. He was a bigwig in the Republican Party. Then you have the Republican Party people down in Florida. You got one that's accused of sexual abuse and having threesomes with his wife, who was with for Moms or Moms for Liberty, and they were all having threesomes sexually. There's so many hypocritical things that the Republican legislation is doing. Do you also know that they want to cut Social Security, VA benefits, and make us work longer? Wow. I've already lost my rights as a woman for health care if something were to go wrong. So that's a big flag for me. And now they're working on contraception. Okay, so you don't want people to get an abortion, but you don't want to have contraception. That is odd in itself. I mean, that's like, okay, so we're not going to let people have abortions, but we're also not going to let them have birth control. What is that about? This reminds me of the way the old Roman Catholics of Roman times, put forth breeding out who they called Protestants and pagans. Rome fell. So if you want to talk about history, let's talk about the United States of America being Rome. Rome is going to fall because of one man. If you don't see it, if you don't see a kinship with Trump and Putin and North Korea and China, if you don't see that alliance, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? He says exactly what he means. If anyone is taking something out of context, it's those who want to believe that he is for you, the people. Because I'm going to tell you right now, he is not. He is not for you, the people. He is for himself. And oh, he's a great businessman. No, he's not. Look up his statistics of businesses that have failed, bankruptcies. The way that he was fraudulent in his business deals, is that how you want him to run the United States of America? Out of context. No, context also shows history and patterns of speech and meaning. So if you want to talk about someone being out of context, it's those that aren't looking at the true meaning of what he's saying. Just saying. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. I hope history doesn't repeat itself, because if it does, Rome fell. Bye, y'all. Hugs from a distance.